Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Getting ready for the holiday.
That's right. Thanksgiving coming up this Thursday. A lot of folks, be hosting some family events. And then a lot of folks are going to be on the road. A lot of folks on the road this year, heading to usually family, sometimes friends, and sometimes just a vacation, So it just varies because, the Wayne County school system is all closed up this week. It's their Thanksgiving holiday. And so some families decide to take vacation this week because of that. And we wish everyone a safe and fun and thankful Thanksgiving week.
Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being with family. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Like I said, 3 of my 4 sisters will be there. A lot of nieces and nephews. So meet my nephew's girlfriend from Arizona. So that'll be interesting. So
how did you meet a woman from Arizona?
They're both in Gainesville.
Oh, they're both going.
They're both going to school down in Florida.
Yeah. Well, should we thank Florida or not?
I was shocked. I was shocked at all the games over the weekend.
I know all those upsets.
Oklahoma just whipped Alabama.
I mean,
they just.
How did they do that?
And that's what I asked the Alabama fans. No one stopped Milrose running, and he was held to about 12 yards. Right? He could not run anywhere. Oklahoma. Every time he tried to run, Oklahoma just was there to tackle him. So it was just a beatdown. They were talking about all the. First time Alabama's lost 3 games since whenever. First time they.
I think Saban's first year was the last time they lost 3 games.
It was just a shocking defeat. But like I said, Ole Miss losing to Florida. A lot of teams. Indiana showed they're not very good, and they got whipped up.
I knew that was going to happen. And I knew Army was going to lose to Notre Dame. Those 2 I knew was going to happen. The rest of them, I didn't have any. And I thought for sure Alabama would win.
All of a sudden, Georgia's vaulted in the SEC title.
That's right. We're Friday. We thought that we were going to slip out of it and only have 2 losses, hopefully, because we still got Tech to go.
They're trying to get Kirby to talk about. I'm focused on Tech.
Tech. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Well, Tech beat Miami. You can't, and they've played some great games. Well, they've won 6 or 7 games. 7 games already this year. 7 games already.
It'll be a battle Friday.
It will be a battle.
7:30 on national TV, but. Georgia's in that. And the question, the committee comes out tomorrow night with their 12 teams. That'll be interesting. Tennessee should be back in, I would think, with just 2 SEC losses. So Ole Miss will probably be out. Alabama's out. It'll be interesting to see what 12 teams are in. But the question now is, will they punish a team that plays for a championship game? And Georgia needs to win an SEC championship game, because if you lose that ball game, even if you stay in the playoff, you got to turn around and that's a hard road to go to win 4 big games in the playoff format. So
right, it's good to get that first round bye. Win the SEC, right, and it's a lot easier.
So, but that's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I'm sure Kirby's excited because, before the season began, that's where you want to be. You want to be in that championship game. So it could be a rematch with Texas. Texas A&M and Texas play this weekend.
So one of those 2 teams, if A&M beats Texas, they're in?
Right.
I didn't know A&M had that great of a record.
Yeah. They got beat this week by Auburn, but they're still in the hunt. So the winner of the Texas A&M game is the winner of the championship.
And that's one of those games where you can just throw out the record usually between Texas and Texas A&M because they really don't like each other.
Right. That's a game they've been looking for all year long, because Texas finally got in the SEC. So Texas A&M's been in there for a while. So they've been marking that date on their calendar since the beginning of the season. So that'll be an all-out war.
Now, Georgia's just got to win, because we can't let one of these teams that got in recently win the championship. It's got to be an old-timer SEC team, And so go Dogs. Got that big game Friday, and I agree with Kirby. You can't look past that. You can't say if whatever. You got a tough opponent on Friday.
He's laser focused. They keep asking him, but he's not biting. So.
No bite. You got to concentrate on Tech. That's what he's telling his players. So you got to do what you say. And so if you're trying to talk about scenarios, then your players going to be thinking about it. You just say laser focused on Tech. Your players have a better chance of staying just laser focused on Tech. But I was talking to a Tech fan over the weekend, and they really want Georgia to win because they want Georgia to get into the into the playoffs. You know, even though they're a Tech fan, they want a close. Yeah, Tech fan said that.
Oh my gosh!
They
they better not tell any other Tech
no,
fans.
I'm sure they won't. But they want to see Georgia get into the playoffs, and so they hope it's a very close game, and Georgia only wins by 1 or 2, and Tech puts up a great fight, but they want Georgia to be able to get into the playoffs because they want to. They're just, they're Tech first, and it's like me. I'm Georgia first. But then I pull for the other Georgia teams, Tech, Southern, Valdosta, West Georgia, pull for the rest of them to win because you want to see Georgia football teams do good from the state of Georgia.
You're a better man than I am.
It's just like in bowl games. I want to see the SEC team win. It's like family. You want to see the SEC team. So in bowl games, I pull for the SEC school, even though it may be Florida or maybe Auburn or something like that. I'll still pull for the SEC over, whatever conference person they're playing, so team they're playing. So I pull for the Georgia teams, and I pull for the from the state of Georgia teams, and I pull for the SEC. But, of course, the Dogs are always number one by far. And, boy, you're dressed up in dog stuff today. You got your dog hoodie on. You got your Georgia Bulldog cap on. All decked out in Bulldog apparel. It was close a little bit for the Georgia.
Dog.
Yeah, they were a little close there for the first part of the game. And as the game went on, that's usually what happens when you got two teams like that. They may start off close, but the depth and the experience and the talent will show in the long run. It's just like other games like that.
And the city of Jesup has foresight. They knew we were getting in the SEC championship game, so that's where they moved that parade to Friday.
They went ahead and moved to the Friday.
Not to conflict with that Saturday, December 7th, SEC championship game. So
is that a 3? What time is that kickoff on that?
It's normally late in the afternoon, so I'm not really sure. I haven't seen the time yet. I've seen the ticket prices.
Ticket prices are on up there?
My gosh. You better rob a bank if you want to go to that game. Those tickets are expensive for that SEC championship game.
So, needless to say, you won't be there?
I don't believe I'll be there. I'll be saving that Christmas money.
Okay.
I could buy my entire Christmas for the price of that ticket. And then some.
And then some.
Yeah.
And, they always say that experiences stay with you longer than stuff, but, you're not buying stuff for yourself. You're buying it for family, and they would appreciate it more than you go to the SEC championship game, right?
Without a doubt. I got a lot of nieces and nephews to buy for, so I'll be watching that SEC championship game on the sports porch at Verney. So, again. But it'll be a good game. Should be, everybody, when we played Texas, they said those two teams could meet again. So, that could be another rematch. And it's hard to beat a team twice in one season, so especially a good team like Texas. So it'll be interesting how that game plays out over the weekend between A&M and Texas. But Texas looks awfully good. So they've had a heck of a year. Sarkisian doing a good job coaching that team up with the two quarterbacks. So.
Okay.
We'll see how it plays out. But
and the SEC championship game is on that Saturday, December 7th at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. So I'll go from 4 till about 7:30 to 8 o'clock, somewhere along there. They keep talking about, we had to cut down the time of baseball games, and they did a good job that a couple of years ago. They're a lot shorter now, about 30 minutes shorter than they used to be on baseball games. But football games just seem to get longer and longer and longer. My word.
If you go to a football game, like I said, during the TV timeouts, they bring the guy out there with the clock, and it's 4.5 minutes long, and you have to sit there and watch that, and you're just sitting there going. And it's every time there's the time there's a score, every time there's a timeout, every time an injury timeout, and those TV people get their commercial time in.
But they pay a ton of money to be able to broadcast those games, so they've got to get it.
But you're just sitting there going, is that clock ever going to get to zero?
And back when we were at Georgia and so forth, we may have that once or twice per year because and then we just listen to Larry Munson, and for most of the games, But as television's got more involved in broadcasting these games because of having cable and streaming and satellite and all that kind of stuff like that, the games just take forever. And then, like you said, when you're sitting at a game, you got to sit there for 4 minutes, just waiting for the break to get over. And there's tons of those breaks. Every time you turn around, they're taking a break because these broadcast people have paid a lot of money, broadcast rights, to be able to air these games, so they got to make it up.
I understand. I said it's all about the money.
It's always about the money. Everything's always about the money, Bob.
Got a chance to see Gladiator over the weekend.
Gladiator 2. How was Gladiator 2, Bob?
I strongly recommend it.
Strongly recommend it, huh?
If you don't like blood and guts, though, stay away.
Well, we know that. It's Gladiator. I mean, they're killing each other in the Coliseum there. And Denzel Washington, he played like what did he play there? An old senator or something? Or
he's the man in charge for
He's in charge of the entertainment.
Yep, he's in charge of the entertainment.
Well, he's in charge of the entertainment.
He's in charge of Gladiators.
All right, he's in charge of the entertainment. He runs the show there in the Coliseum, right?
Yeah.
Denzel always do a great job. He becomes
very powerful, but he gets his in the end. So
he gets his in the end. Yeah. No, don't give away the end, Bob. Jeez,
there's just a lot of blood and guts. Well, I enjoyed it.
Don't give away the end there, Bob. People want to see Gladiator 2.
I was glad. I don't think it was as good as Gladiator 1, but it was good how they tied in 1 and 2. Like I said, it's a
continuation,
story, right?
So you still have the sister there.
If you haven't seen Gladiator 1, you won't really know what's going on in Gladiator 2.
See Gladiator first, and then see Gladiator 2, because it's a continuation of the family and the theme and the story and all that. Yeah,
right. But it was a very good movie. I enjoyed it. Very entertaining. Like I said, it was a good Friday. Went down to Pink Friday and did some shopping. Like I said, that was a big success. Hats off to Kara and her gang. Again, that was a well-attended event downtown.
I was wondering how it's going to go because of the breeze and the cold temperatures, but they came in and showed up anyway.
There was a big crowd. The restaurants had great deals, great food. So, never seen pink pasta before. That was interesting. So
pink pasta, huh?
Yeah.
I put some of the food coloring on there.
Yeah, but it was just a great turnout, great event. Talked to a lot of business owners. They were real happy with the event and the turnout and something new. So that went well. And last night, another packed house at Calvary for the Thanksgiving community service. That was well attended. So
Calvary Baptist was packed again for the Thanksgiving service.
Yeah, both pastors did a nice job. So, like I said, the holidays off to a good start. Downtown's decorated. Got the Christmas parade coming up and some other events coming up, lighting of the trees. So a lot going on in the city of Jesup. But hats off again to the city of Jesup and Kara for that Pink Friday event. Went extremely well on Friday.
And we do want to remind folks once again that the parade this year will be on a Friday. Not Saturday. Right. They want people showing up there on Saturday waiting for it to come by, because it's going to be on Friday this year, December 6th, the Jesup Christmas Parade through downtown Jesup on Friday, December 6th.
Right. That's why the Living Nativity is that Wednesday and Thursday that week. So that's is out at the JC Fairgrounds.
Right,
so.
Omaha Baptist Church with the Living Nativity at the JC Fairgrounds on Wednesday and Thursday this year. Wednesday and Thursday, usually Friday and Saturday, but since everything's been moved up today, they'll do it Wednesday and Thursday at the JC Fairgrounds, Omaha Baptist Church Live Nativity.
December 4th and 5th. Not this Wednesday and Thursday, next Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, because everything's one week away. This week we're concentrating on Thanksgiving, and then we'll really start concentrating on Christmas next week with everything. And speaking of next week, 1 week from today, our fall WIFO FM and Neesmith Chevy GMC Cash Cam promotion begins with the fall giveaway of the $1,055. And we'll give out the very first clue 1 week from today at 7 a.m. and then repeat that clue 3 more times during the day, and then have another clue on the next day. And so that begins on December 2nd. December 2nd, we'll have the very first clue, cash can clue, on our fall WIFO FM and Neesmith Chevy GMC Cash Can promotion. And your chance, folks, to win $1,055 if you're the first person to find that cash can that'll be hidden somewhere in Wayne County on public property. So 1 week from today.
And congrats to the Wayne County esports team. They're in the state playoffs, and they advanced to round 3, which will be held on December 3rd. Their opponent is unknown. It'll either be Heritage High School or Westminster. That matchup set for December 2nd. But on December 3rd, they'll be in the Elite 8 the state playoffs in esports, that computerized competitions.
That's right, playing those games against each other, esports. Now, there's one sporting event, and probably and also fishing, that probably don't have to use the weight room. It's probably the only two I mentioned. You don't need the weight room for esports. Maybe they have things in the weight room where you can work your fingers. You build up your reflexes in your fingers or something like that, so you can be faster when you're playing. But
we got to get Rob Patton in there to talk about his esports team and explain how it works. So
yeah, come on, Rob. We'd love to have him on.
But that's a nice story for Wayne County High School's esports team into the third round, Elite Eight. So hopefully they can win a state championship. That'd be nice.
Yep, that would be nice. Esports.
Yep.
Okay, that's a new one that's been the last couple of years or 3 years or something like that. And then the bass fishing in the spring, late winter and spring, that's a new one that's come on the last 2 or 3 years. And so sports continue to expand at the high schools, Wayne County High School and other schools.
But that's a nice story. Like I said, wish them well.
Wish them the best. Go esports.
I mean, it's the best 3 out of 5. I think it's the best 3 out of 5 because they won 3-2. But I just wonder how it works. And
I guess you're going to have to go watch one day, Bob, when they host one.
It's like Battleship.
Battleship. This is electronic, Bob. It's not a board game.
It's way over my head. So I don't know.
It's not a board game, Bob.
Well, at least a good thing they don't have to travel. So they just log in to the other school. They don't have to travel into these schools.
Yeah, you just do it online. There's a lot of kids out there that play against other kids in different events like that, in different games all throughout the country. I mean, you can be sitting there in the comfort of your home and playing against somebody across the country, and it's just.
We'll just get Rob in next week to explain it, so that'll be good.
Okay.
Line him up. Get him
I'm
on
sure
the show.
there's nothing going on this week with the schools being closed up, right?
Right.
Because usually you don't have events when school's not open.
Well, the basketball teams are in holiday action, I think.
This week?
I think so.
Oh,
the
wow.
Jeff Davis Classic. So
okay.
I'm not sure if that's still going or not, but
I'm sure if they'd already scheduled it, it's still going.
They're the one team that doesn't really get a break during the holidays. They play basketball.
Continue to play that b-ball, getting ready for conference district, whatever you want to call it, in January. Yeah, region. Right. The region for January usually is when that starts. Getting all warmed up for that. Is there a blood drive today at Wayne Memorial Hospital? I know you didn't say anything about it.
They had one last week on that Tuesday.
They had one last week. Yeah, they had one last week.
I don't believe there's one this week. So at least I haven't gotten any information on one.
Okay, and we got. It says Bob. It says, "Hey Bob."
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go, Bob.
It's always trouble.
It's always trouble when someone says, "Hey Bob."
I already said Gladiator 2's good.
No, it's not Gladiator 2. Says, Bob, you didn't mention Mercer football winning first time ever SoCon, Southern, I guess that's SouthCon championship on Saturday. So Mercer won S-O, then C-O-N, SoCon championship on Saturday. So way to go, Mercer football winning SoCon championship, which is a Southern Conference championship in their division on Saturday. So go Mercer.
Yep, congrats to them.
Yes, sir.
I know a lot of Mercer graduates in Wayne County.
Yeah, there's several here.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have gotten into Mercer with my grade point average at SAT. How about you, Bob?
That's a hard school to get into. I said, been to a couple of Mercer. And I said, Michael Paul Wainwater played at Mercer, played football up there, went to several games up there when he played. So it's a beautiful campus, nice stadium.
Is that right in the Macon area, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah,
it's right above Macon. Yeah. So it's nice.
So we did mention it here now. Thanks for whoever sent this in.
I'm sorry, didn't see it.
Yeah. Mercer football wins, the Southern Conference at SoCon, S-O-C-O-N. So I get Southern Conference championship on Saturday.
Well,
so way to go, Mercer.
When I go on the internet and look up college football scores,
Mercer doesn't show up.
One day or so. I did not know. So I apologize.
But there's all kinds of football teams.
Unless they get beat by Alabama.
Yeah, we
did have that score when Mercer played Alabama. Got beat 55-0.
Valdosta, I guess it's university now. They've usually had a pretty good football team down there. West Georgia, and you got a lot around the Atlanta area that that play, and so. Speaking of football teams, the Georgia Southern Eagles won over Coastal Carolina on Saturday up there in right outside Myrtle Beach there. Very good game for the Eagles. So go Eagles! Won really good over Coastal Carolina. Now they take on the big rival, and that's App State, Appalachian State, coming to Paulson Stadium this Saturday. And it'll be packed up there. I mean, it's just amazing. These two teams were in the same conference when they were in the lower conference, and now they're in the top conference, and they're still going at each other. So, way to go, Eagles, this weekend for winning over Coastal Carolina. And let's see, what time is that game against App State? Let's see. That's going to be at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock this weekend, the 30th, Saturday, at 6 o'clock at Paulson Stadium there in Statesboro. So go Eagles.
They're on top in their conference, so
yeah,
the rest of them having a good year.
They had that stumble. I still don't understand how they lost to Troy, but because they had beaten these other teams that were supposed to beat them, and so they'll be taking on App State this Saturday there at Paulson Stadium. Kickoff will be at 6 o'clock. Our Georgia Southern Eagle tailgate show will begin at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So tune in with other Eagle fans to hear the tailgate festivities from 4 to 6, and then kick off at 6.
And in high school football, both Appleton and Pierce have advanced to the Elite Eight in AA football. So,
all right, way to go, Bears and Pirates.
Yeah, Appleton will be at home, and Pierce once again on the road. So that's the only really local team around that's still in state playoff action. Coffee's still playing.
Coffee's playing.
But that's
Benedictine's playing.
Yeah, BC's still in.
BC from our region still the only one left.
Yeah, they went to Ola and beat Ola, but North Oconee whipped up on the Ware County Gators, and Perry got beat at home by Eastside, which is, I understand, a pretty good football team in Quad A football.
That North Oconee must be really good.
Yeah,
they're
good in all sports. So.
Yeah,
got a good athletic program.
I remember when we had a coach here many years ago that was a football coach, and he left here to go be the very first football coach at North Oconee. I can't remember the guy's name, but he left here to go. They just started their football program up there, new high school and all that kind of stuff. So they're not that old of a high school, probably no more than 20 years old. Many years ago, Bob. I can't remember the coach's name. He was a young guy, but he left here to go up there to be the first. North Oconee just opening up. North Oconee, of course, they got Oconee High School, but Oconee County's growing so fast they had to add another high school there, kind of like a suburb of Athens. What else is going on, Bob?
That's about it. Actually, a lot going on. I said, getting ready for the trip up north. So
I don't call Atlanta up north, Bob.
Well, I do. It's north on 95, so it's north.
It's north.
It's not. I'm not going south. I'm not going to Florida.
No, you're not going.
I know.
You're going up north.
I'm
going up north all the way to Atlanta.
I'm not good. I'm not good on directions, but I know I'm going north. I know that much.
You head north, huh?
Well, the GPS says it's north, so
it is north, Bob.
So
it is north.
So I do know that.
Okay. All right. Well, you have a good day.
Okay.
All right. The world famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. And it's been brought to you by the Service Department at GNS Auto Sales. Also brought to you by First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and also brought to you by O.C. Welch Ford in Hardyville.